beautiful people, you're welcome back to my channel. For those of you seeing me for the first time, this is Elvira Couture. Today's class is going to be on how to draft a corset blouse, and I'll be showing you 2 easy methods of drafting a fitted corset blouse. So if this sounds like what you want to learn, then stay with me till the end of this video. The first thing is to draft your basic bodice. If you don't know how to do that, I'll just put the link in the description box below so you check it out and know how to draft your own basic bodice pattern. So, on my pattern paper here, I have here the bust line. This is the under bust. This is the waist, this is the full length, and this is 1 inch for the hem. Once I'm done ruling out the lines, the next measurement I'll be imputing is going to be the shoulder measurement. The shoulder I'm working with is 15 inches. So that will be divided by 2, making it 7.5 inches. So on this 7.5 inches, I'll just come down here by 1 inch. Then I'll roll it out like so. We need the shoulder measurement, even though we are not going to be using it at the end of the day, but we still need it just for illustration. So once I'm done rolling out the shoulder line, then I'll come down from this 1 inch. I'll come down here for my armhole is 8 inches. I'll mark it out here, roll it out into a straight line. I'll also roll it out like so. So this is now going to be our upper chest line. Then after doing that, just on this upper chest line, I will impute quarter of the bust measurement. The bust measurement I'm working with is 41. When you divide 41 by 4, you get 10 and quarter inch, 10 point. I'll be marking it here on this upper chest line. I will mark 10.2. Then I will just curve it this way. So once I'm done doing that, the next thing I'll be imputing is going to be the corset neckline. So from this up here, you just measure down. You can use 6, you can use 7, depending on your preference. So for this tutorial, I'll be using 7 inches. So I'll just mark, let me make it 6 inches. I'll just mark 6 inches here. Then I'll roll it out to a straight line. So this is our corset neckline. So the next thing I want to do now is to impute the apex measurement. The apex I'm working with is 8. If you divide it by 2, you get 4 inches. So on this point, I just mark the 4 inch here. To the length of your top. If you're making it as a dress, you mark it also all the way down to 2 inches above your hip line. So I'll connect these marks together. So once I'm done doing that, I'll just measure the distance between the bust and the under bust. So you measure it like so. What I have here is 4 inches. So from this point of the apex, I will just take this 4 inches bust radius. I will take it round. This is the bust radius. And once I'm done doing that, so on this under bust line, I just mark a dart of 1 inch on both sides of the under bust line. Then over to the waistline, I will take also 1 inch on both sides. This is 1 inch and this is 1 inch. On the full length also, take 1 inch, 1 inch. So the next thing I will be doing is to connect this 1 inch mark. So once I'm done doing that, I'll just use my curved ruler to curve it from the under bust to the bust line. Do the same thing also. So I'm done doing the dart for the down part, so I'll go over to this corset neckline. The measurement I have on my under bust, I will be placing it on this corset neckline, which is 1 inch on both sides. So I'll mark 1 inch here and 1 inch on this other side. So from this bust line, I will just connect them like so. Next thing I want to do now is to determine how high or how low you want the corset to start from. And just bear in mind that corset blouse doesn't need to expose the boobs. So for this tutorial, I'll just, from this bust point, I'll measure up here 1.5 inches. From the bust point, 1.5 inches. So I don't want it to be too exposed. So I came up from this bust point, I came up, I marked 1.5 inch from this bust point. So on this 1.5 inch mark, I'll just measure 3/4 inch. This is 3/4 inch here. So this is 3/4 inch, or you call it 0.75. So just measure it here. I'll come in here. So I'll just rule it out to make it obvious. So the next thing I want to do now is to connect from this 3/4 inch I just marked. I will connect it down to the bust, to the under bust area. At this point, you don't need to be following the dotted lines. The dotted lines are only just for a guide. I will now go over to the other side of the pattern paper. So on this bust area, on this other side of the pattern paper, you know our bust is fuller on this other armpit region. So what I will just do now on this bust area, I will just come out here by 1/2 inch. From this dotted line, I will just mark 1/2 inch. So I will connect it down to the under bust area. This is just to create more ease, more room to accommodate the bust on the armpit region. So once I'm done doing that, I'll just roll it up to the chest line like so. Then connect it like so. Then I'll come over to this place and connect this other place. So once I'm done doing that, the next measurement now is to be imputing a circumference measurement. So the bust measurement I'm working with is 41 inches. I've already imputed quarter of it. Quarter of it is 10.2. So what I will just do here now, I'll just measure what I have on this area. On this area I have 3.8 inches. So I'll just replace it back like so. This is 3.8. I'll go over to the under bust. The under bust measurement is 38. When you divide 38 by 4, that will give us 9.5. So this is our 9.5 inch here. 9.5. So the dart I took here is 2 inches. So I'm going to be replacing that here also. This is the 2 inches. So I'll go over to the waist. The waist I have is 39 inches. 39 divided by 4 will give us 9 3/4 inch. So this is the 9 3/4 inch. Then I'll add back these 2 inches that. So I'll do same thing. So this is the full length. I have 12 inches here. So I'll take that same measurement on the full length. I'll just add 1 inch to it, making it 13 inches. This 1 inch is just to make it to be a little bit free on the down part. So once I'm done doing that, I'll just connect all the marks like so. So at this point, I will just make it a little bit curvy. So this is what I have for the first method of how to draft a corset top that will sit very well on the boobs. So I'm just going to cut this out and show you the outlook. So this is 1, I'll label it as 1, this is 2, this is the center front, and this is the side front. So once you're done cutting it out, this is what you'll be having at the end of the day. So we'll go over to the second method. This is for the second method. You just impute the same measurement you have for the first method. So on this line is the corset neckline. This is the waist, this is the full length, and this is the hem. These dotted lines are the bust radius. A little difference from the first method I showed you. So I'm just going to be taking the darts like we did for the first one, 1 inch on both sides. Okay, I'll go over to the edge of the paper. I'll just impute 7.5 we are working with. Come down by 1 inch for your shoulder slope. Then you roll it out. So I'm using armhole of 8 inches. So I mark the 8 inches here. Then I'll draw it out into a straight line. So this now becomes the upper bust or upper chest. So I will take 7.5 inches here, and I'll roll it out here. I just impute 1/4 of the bust measurement, which is 10.2. Now we are doing the same thing that we did for the first method. So I'm just drawing out my armhole curve like so. So here is the corset neckline. So on this bust line, just come up by 1.5. I told you the reason for doing that is just to make your corset higher. We don't want to show too much of cleavage, so make it a little bit higher. So after coming up on 1.5 inch, you measure in 0.75, known as 6/8 or 3/4 inch. So this is it here. Just roll it out like so, so that you see what we are doing. Once I'm done doing that, I just connect it. Then on this bust area, I'll come out here, mark out from this dotted line ½ inch. From this dotted line, just mark out ½ inch. Then you connect it from there. And also don't forget to draw it up to the under bust, to the upper chest line rather. Roll it up to the upper chest line. From this point here, I'll just use your free hand. So I came up a little bit above the dotted line, just to make it cover up. Just bring it down a bit. Okay, this is fine. So I'll be working with this down line. So on the bust, this is the bust line. Just mark ½ inch on both sides. So this is the difference now between this one and the first method. So on this bust line, just mark ½ inch on both sides, ½ inch down here, ½ inch up here. On this other side of the pattern paper, I'll do same thing, ½ inch down here, ½ inch up here. Then to the apex line, this is the apex. I'll just mark away from the apex line, ½ inch. Same also here, ½ inch. So you just give ease to eliminate that sharpness at this end. So just come away from the apex line and mark ½ inch away from the apex line on both sides. So the next thing I want to do now is to draw the side darts. So once I'm done doing that, I will now go over to take the circumference measurement. Then just remember to add whatever you took for the darts, replace it back here also, like so. So I'll replace it here, like so, here. So I'll just be connecting them. So from here, just connect it like so. So once I'm done with this, next is to cut it out. I'm going to cut this now. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3. Don't forget to label it when cutting on your fabric so that you place them on the right position. So I'm done cutting the second method. On this side I shaded. In case you want to use a different color fabric, you can cut out. You can use this one I labeled one to cut a separate fabric and join it with these down parts. So that's the essence of shading this color, just to emphasize on it. So finally we'll go over to the back panel. So I'll take 1.5 inches here. That will be for the zipper. So our measurement is going to be starting from this zipper line. So half of the shoulder is 7.5. Come down here by 1 inch. From the 1 inch, you take your armhole length, roll it out into a straight line. So this is the upper chest line, this is the bust, this is the under bust. This is the waist, this is the full length, this is the hem. So I'll just take the apex measurement of 4 inch, connect them together like so. So on this bust line, just come down here by 1 inch. Then on the waistline, mark ½ inch on both sides. Connect it like so. That is for waist dart. If you want to panel it, just come to the full length and take ½ inch on both sides. ½ inch here, ½ inch here. So you just roll it up to this 1 inch down the bust line. I'll be using a different color of my marker just to make it to be clear. You roll it to the upper chest line. So this green color marker here is for if you want to panel it, if you're cutting it, if you're opening it up to the upper chest line, then you just take ½ inch on both sides from the full length, and you, from the bust point, come down by 1 inch. But if you don't want to panel it, you just want a waist dart. From this waistline, just take ½ inch on both sides. Then you rule out your dart like so. So then, but for the back panel, the back is usually lower than the front panel. So from this upper chest line, I just come down by 2 inches, or let me use 1.5 inches. This 1.5 inch mark here. So I'll just connect it and just make it to be a little bit curvy. Then to remove the bulge from the zipper, you just from the waist, on the waistline, just mark in ½ inch. So you just roll it out here and bring it, and roll it out here also. Start taking your 1.5 inch here for the zipper. So the next thing is just to impute the circumference measurement. Quarter of the bust measurement is 10.2. Our measurement is starting from this zipper line. Remember, whatever you have on the bust line, you transfer that same measurement to the upper chest line. Under bust measurement is 9.5. 9.5. So you just calculate what you have for the dart. I have ½ inch for the dart, so I'm just adding it up, making it 10 inches. Then the waist is 9¾ inch. I have 1 inch dart here, so making it 10¾ inch. So here 10¾ inch. I will take that same measurement down here, add 1 inch to it, making it 12¾ inch. So I'll connect them together like so. So this is it for the back panel. So I'll just cut it out. So if you want a waist dart, you just leave it like so. But if you want to panel it, what you just do is to cut it out on the green line. This is the center back, and this is the side back. So here we have it. We've come to the end of today's tutorial. I want to appreciate you all for your time. Thank you for staying with me to the end of this class. I really appreciate all of your support, all of the likes. Please, if you're here to subscribe, please click the subscribe button now, and also don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to share with your friends. See you again on my next video. For now, have a beautiful day ahead. Bye.